Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. I'm looking at this site called Biohacks, and it's an international company. A lot of brothers may know it. Slaki, they're based out of Sweden, but they do business internationally, as it says right here, a global market leader. Let me see. The point I have. Let's see. Okay, right here, down here where it says technology, it says biohacks. All right, which in actuality is supposed to be biohack. All right, we're going to get into that in a second. It says is a passive near field communications device inserted by certified biohackers. It does not contain a battery, tracking system, or any GPS enablements. Now, it's funny how they put that disclaimer, because that raises a red flag for anybody, and I remember, for certain companies, like it was a company over here in Wisconsin, to where you had a number of people that signed up, when they introduced it to the company. But then you had a number of people that were wary of it, and they were asking, are you going to track me? And of course they're going to say no. All right, but once that chip, or once that once that microchip is inside your body, you're no longer your body is no longer yours, man. Thus going into this word biohack. All right, now when you break it down, when you go into bio, just a quick search on Etzem Online, it says let's see, bio. All right, bio from life plus science, bioscience, biochemist. All right, which means student of the chemistry of life. All right, and let's go into the word hack, which they spelled it H-A-X, but it's really spelled H-A-C-K. All right, and as we see, as we look through, it says to cut roughly, person hired, that's the verb, I guess V1 means verb, N2, I guess that stands for now, person hired to do routine work. Now N1, read down, says tool for chopping. All right, V2, illegally enter a computer system. Okay, so when you put that word, when you read down, hack, adjective, hired, mercenary, a short hard cough, hack. So when you put this word together, biohacking, in a nutshell, it means to what? To steal, all right, or to cut into one's life. All right, and they're gonna basically it's gonna seem passive. All right, what you just read, it says a technology. It says biohack is a passive near field communications. All right, which in the UK. In the UK, it's they got the NFC, it's what's called the NFC chip, but over here in the States, it's known as the RFID. But it's the same thing, man. Okay, and it says it's passive, but we know what the scriptures say about something that's passive, man. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right, hey. You look at what Esau's doing now, man. The flu shot is considered, will be considered passive, man. It's considered, to help you out. Section 8 is considered to help you out, man. But if you know anything about Esau, it's always a hidden agenda under it, man. What's the flu shot actually gives you the flu, man. All right. The brother was going in camp yesterday. All right, that you have these government assistance that the man has to be outside the house, man. thus destroying the household. All right, so just because it's passive is not always good, man. You know, and another thing, what actually sparked this lesson too. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, which I was watching this episode of Black Mirror. It's called Men Against Fire. Actually, I got it in my history. All right, and this guy breaks it down, this episode down perfectly.
It uses radio sync solar technology to maintain the ultimate level of accuracy. Powered by light and feature.
All right, so I'm gonna just play it back. So I was watching a little bit of it. He's breaking it down perfectly, man.
I think one of the most impressive elements of Black Mirror is its continued ability.
Because just before I even started, going into biohacking and how Esau is using it today, going to show you that what Esau plans are, man. And that show Black Mirror, it's a good, I definitely advise brothers to watch it in your spare time. It's edifying. Just going to show you Esau's enterprise, man, his plans for the people. All right, and we know it to be true because just real quick. Well, you know what? I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna read the article to where Esau's Salake, to where Esau kind of like drawing a blank. But I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna read the article to where Esau now he has drones to where for soldiers to where they're able to control it with the with their minds, man, using the RFID chip. All right, so it says I'm gonna just play it. Which they show you that in this episode too of Men Against Fire.
One of the most impressive elements of Black Mirror is its continued ability to surprise me when it comes to concepts. I never would have imagined that Black Mirror would make an episode focused on military technology, but at the same time, the military are one frontier of technological experimentation and application in the modern world. Nuclear weapons, the use of drones, and robots replacing human soldiers, all very typical examples that spring to mind. Yet this episode's focus is more on the question of whether we can be relied on to use this technology, taking into account all of the flaws humanity possesses. Despite the futuristic nature of the story, the script was influenced by S.L.A. Marshall's book of the same title. I've not actually read the book, but according to Arquette, the title relates to the lack of soldiers who actually fired their weapons in World War II. This ties into the notion that most human beings don't actually want to kill each other and that the military conditions young people into doing so. Human beings, however, have continuously found new ways to dehumanize and murder those that are deemed inferior or undeserving of a rich and positive life experience. This book is not the only reference to real-life conflict either. The perceived enemy are called roaches, a shortened version of the word cockroaches that senior politician Leon Mujazera used to describe a minority population within the country of Rwanda before over 70% of them were killed. The ability to perceive a group of people as subhuman is a recurring notion throughout the episode and has been the cause of mass genocide not just in Rwanda but also across Europe in the Second World War, as well as the Ottoman Empire in the First. Here in the episode, however, a computer system known as MASS has been devised for the purpose of conditioning soldiers into believing that these so-called roaches are subhuman. However, the difference is that these soldiers cannot be swayed because the technology that's built inside their heads prevents them from thinking any other way. For freedom.
Right, so hey, let me stop it there, man. You hear that, man? All right, in this episode, all right, these soldiers, which were they were basically implanted with a chip or something otherwise known as a mass. All right, and the reason, if you watch, just watching it, the reason why they did that is because if they didn't do that, that basically their enterprise wouldn't work. Their conscience would kick in, and they would basically not want, they would feel bad for killing these perceived roaches, man. Which I'm gonna just play it. All right, but just going into biohacking or life hacking, man. Because even in the end, within the episode, the guy says, you need this chip, because if not, you would feel bad for what you did. You would feel bad for killing these people, man. All right. Well, and why like he said, and while the chip works, or the other it's called mass in the episode, while it's working, you're basically desensitized, man. Like that. I remember that you had this movie RoboCop. You had this the other Esau got a bunch of movies, man. Another one called Upgrade. Well, which while it works, is basically taking over you, man. Okay.
Thought destroys the narrative that the military believes to be true. It's interesting that we see people who aren't chipped who also believe the lies about people classified as roaches. This demonstrates not only the influence that fear can have on people, but because these individuals have been branded as roaches, they have been driven out of their homes and are fleeing into the wilderness and therefore have to steal just to survive. When the soldiers go into Heidegger's house, one of the rooms contains a painting by William Holt titled "A Converted British Family Sheltering a Christian Missionary from the Persecution of the Druids." Yep, it's a mouthful, but the complete image looks like this. The shot we see in the episode closes in on the Christian missionary lying on the floor, clearly trying to hide from those that would seek to kill him. The use of this image hints at who might be hidden within this chap's house, but also makes the audience question who the real bad guys are, those that seek to protect innocent human life, or the Puritan nature of the military-industrial complex. Even more interesting is that Heidegger is a devout Christian himself. He has a cross hanging up on his wall, just like the protective family depicted in the painting do. As Stripe walks through the house, he passes a bird of prey perched in a room, symbolizing that his vision isn't as sharp as it could be, their vision being 4 times sharper than that of a human. This occurrence happens after he gets sonic screwdrivered by one of the roaches. Now
See? Hold up, Salaki.
To see beyond the narrow mindset the military wants him to perceive, and will start to see without
Let's play it back a little bit.
depicted in the painting do. As Stripe walks through the house, he passes a bird of prey perched in a room, symbolizing that his vision isn't as sharp as it could be, their vision being 4 times sharper than that of a human's. This occurrence happens after he gets sonic screwdrivered by one of the roaches. Now able to see beyond the narrow mindset the military wants him to perceive, and will start to see without the military lens. Heidegger is then blindfolded so he can no longer see the way Stripe can, unbeknownst to himself or the others. As the story...
Yeah, so that was it on that, man. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because he gets down, what I'm saying, really breaking it down to where it was even things that I didn't notice, like the picture that he was breaking down. Yeah, man, it shows you, how that chip could really destroy your life, man. And just like this super soldier, that it destroyed his life, man. Yeah, so I definitely advise brothers to watch that, man. And it's another movie I saw. It's called The Fifth Wave. Alright, so I'm gonna just play this.
Ride with Uber this week.
You always gotta have ads, Salaki Yaku. And Lil Willin, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shara Tazah. They don't flag this video for me playing these different clips.
None of this makes sense. They knock planes out of the sky and cause earthquakes, but they're afraid of an army of children? There's something Bosch isn't telling us. Yeah, I'm not risking my life for this.
Brenner, what are you doing?
I'm unenlisting. I'm better out there on my own. You know what's best for you? You'll do the same.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh shit! Tommy, you see this? She's
What
free!
the hell, you guys? Put your guns down.
You're one of them! You're an alien!
What are you talking about? I just saved your asses.
If she's one of them, we have to take her out now.
Okay, just calm down, alright?
We have to.
I can see it. I can see it inside of her. There's nothing inside me.
Shut up! Zombie, what do we do? Do we shoot her? Your call, zombie.
Zoe, what are you doing?
What's up, man? Oh my god, what's going on, man? Hey, put your guns down, put your guns down. Don't shoot. Calm down. She's not another, neither am I. I'm glowing green, right? Yeah. Yeah, listen. You know me. Come on, Dumbo. You know who I am. Put the guns down. Just put them down. I'm not another. I don't even think any of those people out there shooting at us are others. Resnick. Bosch. They lied to us. They lied to us, man. Green doesn't mean alien. Green means human. Just without one of these. What are you talking about? Don't you guys see? Those lenses, these trackers, it's all fake, man. It's an illusion, it's a trick. They weren't testing these, they were testing us. They were seeing how we would do, how we would hold up under pressure. Right? If we would do what we were trained to do, to kill others. No, to kill the survivors, man. To kill survivors. So what about the guys outside? How are the ones that were shooting at us? They're human. Why would the army want us to kill other humans? Here's the army, Resnick, Bosch. They're the others. And because we're kids, they thought they could manipulate us into doing their dirty work.
You see? So that was all on that, man. But you see what the guy was holding up the chip to where he pulled out of his his neck, man. Alright? And then he was able to see clearly, man. Or he was basically trying to make the other ones see clearly. You know? Like, he was trying to make the other ones see clearly, man, because with that chip, you know, they were basically able to manipulate the kids, all right, into doing what they wanted to, man, into seeing how they wanted them to see, man, which is what that chip is about, man. You know, giving all your strength and your power to Esau Edom, man, the so-called white man. Okay. All right, so let's bring us some more precepts, man. This is Isaiah chapter 45. Let me see. Verse 5. It says, I am the Lord power, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west, that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. Alright? Now, the Most High, He controls the spirits. He controls, you know what I'm saying? He controls the spirits in man. You know, not Esau. Which the scriptures say that. And this is how we know and understand that Esau's new world order, to where everyone is chipped, won't work. Let me see. I always get this one mixed up. 2 Thessalonians. Let me see. Temple of God. I always get this one mixed up. Temple. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? Which the so-called white man, he was revealed, you know, as far as the Roman Empire in 70 AD. Alright? And he's going to really be revealed, man, again, because the people went back to sleep. Especially our people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. To how much of a devil this man is. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. You know? This is why in this day and age, alright, Jesus has to be a so-called white man. The angels have to be white babies. You know? The scriptures say he's speaking great words against the Most High. Or that is worship, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, so sure of himself that he is God. You know? And that's the ultimate form of worshiping, man, is that chip. You know? Because like I said, the Most High, he controls the spirits, man. You know? This is his world. You know, he just loaned it to Esau, which is doing a horrible job. Alright? But this is how we know that this devil, his enterprise won't work, man. Alright, this is Job chapter 5 verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Alright, and first and foremost, with this truth, he's disappointing them. As it is written of in Isaiah 11 and 4, he's going to cast them down by this truth. Alright, and then in the book of Thessalonians, As the Most High said, he's going to bring him down with the spirit of his mouth, and then by the brightness of his coming. You know, because just like those movies, like when you watch The Fifth Wave, when you watch that show, Men Against Fire, I believe it's called. I forgot it already, Salakia. But you know, as the show goes on, you know, Esau prevails in his lies, man. But at the end of that movie or that show, all right, the truth comes out, and that's just basically what's gonna happen in this world. We at the end of Esau's rulership, and the truth is coming out. Okay. It says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in darkness. You know, because while this truth is coming out, they still doing their wickedness, man. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in night. They're constantly doing wickedness, man. Constantly putting curses up against, you know, the children of the Most High, man. The scriptures also tell us in the book of Proverbs that they sleep not until they have done some mischief. Okay? It says, and if you notice, man, it basically seems like every year now, you know, there's a movie coming out about, you know, the so-called beauties of a man or a society being chipped. But it says, but he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the Almighty. So the poor have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. You know. So for the you know, you brothers out there, you know, looking for the truth, but basically already have found the truth, man. But looking to, you know what I'm saying, how basically you can make your calling and election sure. You know, hey, look at the Most High as your power, man, and know that He is the one that'll save you, man. All right, because those that had took the chip, they're gonna die. All right, and basically that's the easiest way we can say it. This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. The nuclear missiles, man. All right, which those nuclear missiles, man, is millions and millions of degrees Fahrenheit. You know, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment shall ascend up forever and ever, and they shall have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. All right, and that basically means, all right, that America is going to be burning for a long, long time, man. Okay, and this is going to be a place to where nobody ever will be able to inhabit it. This is going to be the place of great judgment. All right, because of the wickedness, man, the great wickedness, man. All right, and that the chipping of the people is just the icing on the cake. All right, on the flip side, this is Revelation chapter 15, and I just started at the top. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten a victory over the beast, and over his image, which is the RFID chip, and over his mark. You know, because when you go into you know, the beast, which basically are these other, you know, comprised of NATO and the EU. All right, and it's funny how, it's not funny, but we see through the spirit, man, of how even really you have a lot of these other nations, man, like over there in the UK. I know the brothers out there, is constantly doing videos about the chip, man. In Sweden, all right, those are the ones really where the chip, you know, we can see the chip is being pushed a lot harder than over here, you know, but it's gonna come over here too. So it says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then they had gotten a victory over the beast. All right, over the beast, which basically over their philosophies, man. Homosexuality. All right, that we all are equal. That's the philosophy of man, man. And over his image, all right, which his image is the basically the mark, you know, the RFID chip, man. You take that, that's how you know you consent until you consent. You know, and basically to being controlled by the so-called white man. and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God, which is this is the elect, which we hope to be. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of the saints. You know? Hey, so with that, actually, I'm going to just read down, Salaki. It says, Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? Because these nations, as written of in, was that Malachi 4:1? That they will, all right? Hey, they will bow down to the Heavenly Father, man. All right? It says, Salaki. I just want to make sure I said the right things. Malachi. Salaki. Okay, so it was Micah 4:1. Towards the end of the day, Micah 4:1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And this is prophecy. These are the things that must shortly come to pass. You know, so why the hell is this devil going so hard and extending his rulership, man? All right, when the scriptures say in the book of Daniel that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he setteth up over it whomsoever he will. You know, which it's our time to rule, man. You know, hey, it's our time to rule, man. Starting, you know, of course, with Yahushua on down. Okay? As it's written of in Job 18, man, the light of the wicked shall be put out. All right? So, just to finish this off, was that Revelation 15:4. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? All right? That's why the scriptures say, Kiss the Son in Psalms 2, lest ye perish for the way. For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Okay? Hey, so with that, Lord willing, you Akim will edified. You know, hey, don't get hacked, man. Don't get chipped. You know, because then you would take part in the nuclear missiles, man. All right? And lose that name in the book of life. So with that, shalom to the elect.